Hey everyone, welcome back to Heather the Sunflower Witch. I'm Heather. So this video today is a little bit different, and this video is actually going to be focusing on my first book that I published, The Power of the Betrayed. So to kind of show it off, we have our hardback, which is a lot smaller than this, but I got the author resale of it. And then the book itself is this. So we have The Power of the Betrayed, the hands holding the bloodied crown, a little bit of a summary, and then the book. So I'll read kind of what I have on the summary, and I'm going to go into a little bit of a description, and I've made some Q&A questions and answers to learn a bit more about this in case you're interested. So, The Power of the Betrayed. Betrayal is a pain that never goes away, but rather dulls with time. Princess Beatrice learns this harsh reality on her journey. She also learns blood is thicker than water till the blood runs cold. Even after learning these, will she also learn when you lose one support, you gain a much stronger one down the road, perhaps even love? So, that's The Power of the Betrayed. Now, what is it? This story focuses on Beatrice that I mentioned before. It focuses on three kingdoms that are based on different biomes. One is based in spring, one is based in winter, one is based in a more humid, wet climate. So you have those, and you have Princess Beatrice, which is in the spring kingdom. We learn through some betrayal that she gets taken to a different kingdom and basically is dropped and is taken in by the prince, Damien, from that kingdom, which is the winter one. Now, in this story, we focus on Beatrice learning her betrayal, learning who actually betrayed her, then who she thinks does. And then we also learn how she can learn of different kingdoms, because she had been growing up so much in her original kingdom that she's had this mentality of what the others are supposed to look like and what they're supposed to act like. Then we learn from her how she learns to break down the stereotype and be able to actually have fun in the other kingdoms. Now, The Power of the Betrayed, I always say that it's a slow burn romance for those who like those slow burn romance type books. It's also a focus of family betrayal. Now, while that's a little bit of a spoiler, it is the focus of the book. It focuses on these two things plus character growth. And for this, it mostly focuses on Beatrice's growth, how she learns more about herself and becomes more confident in what she believes versus what others tell her to believe. So we follow her story throughout it. We follow Damien. We meet a couple of side characters. We also learn more deeper into the betrayal and how she's going to grow later on with this. So it's kind of a question I already answered. What genre is this book? It's considered romance. I would consider a medieval romance, more maybe a modern medieval romance that focuses slow burn and family betrayal. Type of romance, slow burn. There isn't really any spice in this. It's more just a romance book. Now, why did I decide to write this in particular? I actually started writing this back when I was working on my thesis. That was about, I started it 2021. So now it's been about 2 years since the publishing date. And it was a book that I started out just as we're following this character, we see her growth, we get a little romance, and that's kind of, I kept it the base level. But then for me, I started to actually add in lessons that I've seen other people go through or lessons I've been through to create the character and to create the arc for her. Who is my audience? My audience ranges from high schoolers up until, adults. It's a fairly easygoing type of book. I don't really and because there's not really any spice or anything of that, or like a dark romance, It's fairly broad with who could read it and who wants to read it. It would just be something like, if you're interested in medieval romance, this could be a book for you. If you're just interested in a slow burn romance, this could be for you. You know? Now, why the title, The Power of the Betrayed? As I was mentioning earlier, we do follow her growth, her arc as a character throughout the story. And we learn that even though maybe one could be betrayed, there is the growth from actually getting better as a person. And by doing so, you learn your own power. So then it becomes the power of the betrayed. So, and I'm going to pull the book over here. The reason why you have the hands holding the crown is specifically for that reason. It's the idea that the power is you holding what has been betrayed, which for Princess Beatrice is the kingdom, learning the kingdom. So there's like some splatter on the crown and the jewels, and then you have the hands. So that's a bit about the cover and how it relates to the title. Next, where is this available? So I decided to publish through Amazon. So the Amazon KDP, Amazon authors, I went through that route. So I would be considered an indie author. On Amazon, it's on Kindle Unlimited. So for those who have the subscription with Kindle Unlimited, you can get it on there. It's also on Kindle. So if you read Kindle, you can get it there. If you prefer, like I was showing earlier, the paper and hardback, if you prefer a physical book, then there's that as well. There's just kind of options for all of them. And it's, you know, if you're interested, then you've got different availabilities with it. Then, why did I decide to publish and why through Amazon? For me, I do like Amazon being able to allow authors to publish, those who actually want to put their work out there. This does give a market for that, and I do appreciate that that's out there for others, especially if you are wanting to become an author and become into a published company. Then perhaps starting out publishing this on your own and then growing into the company could be a way for that. I did this because it's something that's easier for me to do. It's easier when I can go back to my work, I can edit it, get it finalized, and then put it out there for everyone. And just see how it grows, or see the reviews with it, or seeing like that part of me that I wrote, how others react to it. So, and then Amazon publishing, while it does have its quirks, it does have its issues, it's overall a really good place to start out. Or for something, if you just want something consistent like publishing your books. The next one is, do I have any more ideas when I publish? And let me tell you, I got a lot of ideas. I have a folder that I have that has just all of my ideas in it, from like series to just little short stories. Like, I think they're like novellas, just little novellas versus like big chapter books like the Power of the Betrayed is. So I have these ideas that I want to work on over time, which is the reason in a previous video, which I'll link above, is the year of 2024. My goal is to at least publish another book, and it's one that I'm working on currently. A sneak peek is that it is a romance book, but it's more of a small town romance instead. So the next one is, what do I hope to see from this? I do want to see the growth with it. It is something that now that I've published it, it's now the advertising it, it's the talking more about it, getting people to read it, whether it's Kindle Unlimited, whether it's paperback, whoever. I can get the word out there of what my book is, or like if there's people who like this style of book, then you're able then I can direct people to it. So what are my goals as an author? A big one is just to continue to publish more. And that's because over time my writing is going to get better and publishing is going to get easier. It's going to be something that is practice. But by practicing, I can see the growth with myself as an author. That's a main goal of mine. Another is to continue to share and create a community for those who like my work. So people like other authors, for example, Nora Roberts is a famous romance author that a lot of people over the years have loved her work. Then you have the building of a community for my work. It'd be nice to have to be able to do signings and meet people that I'm writing to, or people who are just interested in my work. And on top of that, going to conventions or different events for authors to meet with other authors. It's actually, I have a TikTok that is specifically for my author and reading, and one focuses on just excerpts from books that I publish. The other one is connecting with authors and connecting with readers and getting the book out there by advertising and talking about my reading. But it's also a way that I can do pause or points of view of my books to get you more of who each character is, who Beatrice is, or who Damien is. That helps me to be able to make it fun to get the word out. So that's another way I'm kind of starting the connection and the collaboration. But other than that, it's just to continue writing. Writing has been something I've been doing since middle school at least. I would say consistently since middle school. In middle school, I always wrote poetry. Poetry was always a big thing. It was up until high school at least. Then you have the writing short stories, which I always did little short stories. I even did fan fiction. It was just something I always was writing. And on the poetry side, I actually wrote a poem that was in the Stars in Your Hearts type of book and had that published. I think it was in freshman year of high school is when I got that published. So, but now I can say that I actually have my work, the book, published. And it's something that, honestly, it connects back to that child me that loved writing so much. It's allowing me to express that. So by writing, by publishing, it's helping give that child excitement, the happiness to continue to do that. So that's a little bit of information about the book. It also, for those who may want a happy romance or a sad one, this is more on the happy romance side. If some of you would like that just kind of popped in my head, but just putting that out there. But for me, this is The Power of the Betrayed. If you're interested, I'll have the link somewhere. I'll probably have it in my bio. But if you're interested in it, feel free to check it out. You can even type in The Power of the Betrayed on Amazon. It should come up that way too. But that is a little bit about the book, my first publishing, why I'm publishing, why I'm writing, all of that. So I want to thank you so much for coming to listening to this video. So I hope that you have a good day, and a good night wherever you are. And if perhaps you're interested in the book or just interested in publishing or writing, you can leave a comment down below and ask questions, or just talk and say, oh, that sounds really cool. And feel free to subscribe if you're interested in my other content too. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.